Bukayo Saka, 24 years old, Arsenal's number 7, one of England's most beloved footballers right now. But beneath that humble smile lies a story that Nigeria still whispers about. His parents, Yomi and Adenike, left the Yoruba heartland of Nigeria in the 1990s and started a new life in Ealing, London. And when their son was born, they gave him a name that meant everything, Bukayo. In Yoruba, it means one who adds to happiness. Nigeria never forgot that name. In fact, when he was rising through Arsenal's academy, the Nigerian Football Federation sent feelers his way, hoping he'd wear the Green Eagles shirt. Super Eagles fans saw him as their own, and in many ways, he still is. He visits his grandparents in Core State. He speaks of his Yoruba identity with pride, but the shirt, English, always English. He grew up watching England. He grew up dreaming of Wembley, and in 2020, he made his senior debut for the Three Lions. Nigeria will never get to see this son of Yoruba soil in their own colors, but every time Saka touches the ball, his full name, Bukayo Ayoyinka Tamidayo Moses Saka, echoes with the sound of a continent that helped shape him. The next name needs no introduction. Kylian Mbappe, 27 years old, the captain of France, the fastest man in world football, Real Madrid's galactic star. But here's the thing people always forget. Mbappe could have played for 3 different countries. His father, Wilfred, is from the Cameroonian island of Jebeli. His mother, Faiza, is of Algerian Kabyle heritage. That means France, Cameroon, and Algeria were all on the table. 3 flags, 1 man. And he chose France, the country where he was born and raised in the suburbs of Bandi. When he visited Cameroon in 2023, he stood on the island his father came from and said, "I'm so happy to be here. I feel honored to see my country of origin," his country of origin. And yet that same man lifts World Cups in a French shirt. Cameroon lost arguably the greatest player of his generation. Algeria lost a son of their own Kabyle people. And France won everything. This is the story of modern football. Africa and North Africa produced the root. Europe harvested the fruit. Now this next story takes us somewhere extraordinary. Michael Olise, 24 years old, Bayern Munich's creative genius, France's most exciting attacker right now. But here is a man who could have played for not 2, not 3, but 4 different countries. England, France, Nigeria, and Algeria. Father Vincent is Nigerian from the Urhobo people of the Niger Delta. His mother Mina is French Algerian, and Olise himself was born in London. 4 flags, 4 identities. He once said in an interview, "I actually come from 4 countries, France, Algeria, Nigeria, and England. I consider myself very lucky to possess these 4 parts. I feel each individual part in me." And yet in the end, he chose France. His mother spoke French at home. His childhood dreams were built around Les Bleus. Nigeria lost the Urhobo son. Algeria lost a piece of its diaspora. England lost a player born on its own soil. And France gained one of the most gifted wingers on the planet. 4 nations, 1 choice, the one that felt most like home. The next story is different from the rest, and it's one of the most extraordinary family tales in football history. Nico Williams, 23 years old, Spain's electric winger, the man who lit up Euro 2024 and sent an entire country into delirium. But his parents' story begins in Ghana in a desperate, dangerous journey across the Sahara Desert. Felix and Maria Williams left Accra with nothing but hope. They crossed Burkina Faso, Mali, Algeria, barefoot through scorching heat, abandoned by the traffickers they paid to help them, until they finally reached the Spanish enclave of Melilla. Maria was pregnant during that crossing. They eventually made it to Bilbao, and there Nico was born. Now here's where the story split. His older brother Iñaki, born just before they reached Spain, eventually chose Ghana. He heard his grandfather's wish. He felt the pull of his ancestral homeland. He said yes to the Black Stars. But Nico was born in Spain. He grew up in Spain. Spain was in his blood from his very first breath. He chose the Furia Roja and never looked back. 2 brothers, same parents, same Ghanaian blood, 2 different flags. One of the most unique stories in the history of the beautiful game. Declan Rice, 27 years old, Arsenal's heartbeat, England's midfield general. But there was a time when the Republic of Ireland believed he was theirs. His grandparents are from Douglas, County Cork. His Irish roots run deep enough that he actually wore the green shirt, playing for Ireland's youth teams for years and even earning 3 senior caps in friendlies. Ireland fans called him one of their old. The FAI believed they had their next great midfielder. Then in 2019, Rice made the call. He declared for England, the country of his birth, the country where he'd lived his entire life. Ireland never forgave him easily. He received a death threat. Angry messages flooded his social media. But Rice stood firm. He said both hearts would keep beating, his English heart and his Irish heart. And he wasn't wrong. He still carries his Irish heritage with pride. But on the biggest stage, it's the 3 lines on his chest. Ireland lost a generational talent to their neighbors, and England gained one of the best midfielders in the world. Now, here's the story that flips everything upside down. Brahim Diaz, 26 years old, Real Madrid's dazzling winger, and the man who chose Africa over Europe when he didn't have to. His mother, Patricia, is Spanish from Malaga. His father, brother Sufil is Moroccan Rifian. Brahim was born and raised in Malaga. He went through Spain's youth system, starred at the U17 Euros, and even made his senior debut for Spain, scoring in a 4-0 win, one cap. That was all Spain gave him. While Brahim lit up Serie A on loan at AC Milan and became one of Real Madrid's most important players, Spain's coaches kept looking away. And then Morocco came calling, the country that inspired him, the country of his father's blood, the country that had just stunned the world at the 2022 World Cup. Brahim said yes, he didn't look back. His debut for Morocco was, in his own words, a very special day. He has since helped Morocco break world records and won the Africa Cup of Nations. While Spain had their Pedros and their Gavi, Brahim chose the Atlas Lion and became their new Messi, Jamal Musiala. 23 years old, Germany's magician, the man they call Bambi at Bayern Munich because of the way he dances past defenders. But his story stretches across 3 continents. His father, Daniel Richard, is Nigerian. His mother, Caroline, is German with Polish roots. And Jamal was born in Stuttgart before moving to England at age 7, where he grew up, learned English, and came through Chelsea's academy. 3 countries had a genuine claim: Germany, England, and Nigeria. England thought they had him. He played for their youth teams. The English FA was convinced. And then came the phone call that changed everything. But Jamal's shirt is black, red, and gold. Nigeria lost a son of one of its own to the country of his birth. England lost a player who grew up in their backyard. Germany gained one of the best players in the world.